Thank you so much, Bill. Welcome, everybody. It is time to sing. Please rise. If you are uncomfortable with your mask off, please leave your mask on. I want to encourage that. If you guys want to wear your mask, please go ahead and wear it and do the best you can singing out loud, okay? We're going to sing I Release and I Let Go. There was a time in my life thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Very nice, everyone. You may be seated, and I want to welcome Tina to the platform.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Orange County. It's so nice to have you here today. And if you're watching us on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Before we get started, we always like to affirm our vision and mission statements. We know our vision statement. We don't have to have it on the board. Centered in divine love, we joyfully co-create a world that works for all. And our mission statement, to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those that helped make this service possible. Bill on piano. We have Tom on music and audio. Waverly streaming, John on camera, and today Shanice will read the daily word and guide us through our meditation. Our speaker today is Reverend Arlene. Yay. And my name is Tina, and I am your platform lead. We have a few announcements to make. First of all, our classes this week, Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth, is on Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30. And this is a powerful book that will change the way you look at prosperity, your relationship to money, and how spirituality relates to it. The book is available on Amazon and Unity's website and most bookstores. And when you go to Amazon, be sure that you go to Amazon Smile and put Unity of Orange County. And we do get a little bit of credit on that. Today at 11:15, the Quest discussion group will be meeting here at Unity and on Zoom. So please go over to the children's room and the Wishing Well for that Quest discussion group. Next Sunday at 11:15 is the Gratitude Circle, and we will be meeting here and on Zoom as well. Our Zoom ID number for all classes is 818-8859-3747. Please don't forget our Christmas in July. That's why we have our Christmas tree up right now. We're having a food drive. And please bring non-perishable food for our Christmas in July food drive that will benefit the South County outreach. And we're collecting food for the entire month of July. And because of the pandemic, we have so many people that really need that help. You know, we really are blessed, and we want to be able to pass that on by helping others. The Unity Spirit Walkers will be walking on 7/22. So enjoy connecting with your Unity community, spirit, and nature as we explore the beautiful grounds of Soka University. And that's a great place to meet. And please pick up one of these flyers. And we have them right outside by the door. So contact Holly Hopkins or Shanice with any questions. But this is open to all abilities. And feel free to bring your family or friends, bring water, wear a shade hat, and don't forget your sunscreen. And this is a beautiful grounds. If you've never been there, that's a great time for you to go. And that's all that and I'm sorry, Amy is here looking for volunteers, so please see Amy for volunteering. Thank you very much. And now I invite Tom back up.
So we're talking about letting go of fear and living in the now. And the best way to do that, I found, is to become conscious of the beauty around you. You guys know this one, sing it with me. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me ride by. But a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. And an old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, it is time to sing again. We're going to rise and we're going to sing Blessing to the World. Please stand. This is for you. Ready? You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. Now take it inside, know it for yourself. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. Now expand to include everyone. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world, a blessing to the world. Thank you. You may be seated. I want to welcome Shanice up for the Daily Word.
Good morning. Talking about a beautiful morning. You're all such a sight to see with your smiles. So for today, Sunday, July 18th, 2021, word of the day is realize. I realize the power of spiritual truth. I realize the power of spiritual truth. I have had many aha moments throughout my life when something that had befuddled me for years suddenly became clear. It may have been something I tried to learn in school, a skill I practiced and tried to master as I grew, or even an idea that challenged my understanding of the world around me. Whenever I realized something new, I could feel my world expanding, opening up before me in fresh and exciting ways, making me eager to discover even more. On my spiritual journey, I feel a similar excitement as I realize I have so much more than a spark of divinity within me. I am fully divine, just as I am fully human. I feel newly alive in this realization and so very grateful for it. The scripture comes from Genesis 28, verse 16. Then Jacob woke from his sleep and said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." So as we move into this sacred time of meditative contemplation, heartfelt prayer in silence, I just invite you to just relax. And as you just breathe in to center yourself in the here and the now, I invite you to gently close your eyes or just soften your gaze inward to experience the beauty that is you, that is all, that is now. And I invite you to just feel these words as you inhale, I am, here, as you exhale. And again, breathing in, I am, exhaling, here. One more time, breathing in, I am, here. You are here right now. We get to let go of the weak. We get to let go of any illusion of separation from our wholeness and fullness in our being with God right here, right as we are. Take off your shoes, metaphorically. Take off your masks. Lay your hurts, lay your burdens down. Imagine a vast river, any worries, any concerns, any sorrow, any pain, any negation of the all and what you are, you just put into this river, set it aside, see it float downstream. Any stories, put them in the river. Let them drift away. Be carried as you are carried by Spirit right here and right now. Centering here, right here. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing you have to do to prove your worthiness, your wholeness. There's no one you have to be but you. As Rumi says, to find the beloved, you must become the beloved. And now we open ourselves to the sacred moment, taking off our masks, any illusion, so we can commune with our silent partner who's holding us right now. We turn our heart to that silent partner. We open our arms as God's arms. Our heart is God's heart. Our spiritual eye is the one eye that has ever unconditionally love for every living thing here and beyond. We even breathe through the soles of our feet, this life of love streaming up to us from the earth, rising all the way through our body, bringing us peace, healing, wholeness, like a fountain up through our head. Ever fount of blessing pouring through us as us. I am here. I am loved. I am whole. Just as a flute has a hole into it, we can be comfortable in the silence, holding the space for the one beloved presence to sing through us, speak to us. We go into the silence, holding the sacred awareness that when we let go, we are just holding the hands of God, and we are held. And so it is.
I am dreaming of a riverbank, mists of shroud the farthest shore. I am standing in a wooden boat, in my hands a golden oar. Will I row against the current, or let myself be carried out to sea? Where I reach land at last is up to the river, but the journey is up to me. Time to sail, reluctant pilgrims. My fear is all I've got to lose. Life is nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is mine to choose. I am racing down a corridor, endless doors on either side. I could open any one of them, step on through and change my life. Sometimes I pause there on the threshold, afraid to leave my bright, familiar hall. Sometimes I spend my days running by so quickly, I don't see the doors at all. Step on through, reluctant pilgrim. My fear is all I've got to lose. Life is nothing, nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is mine to choose. I am waking in a forest glade. Needles of pine are in my hair. I see pathways through the underbrush, leading to I know not where. I hear strange noises in the thickets, and I know some trails may not lead where they seem. Pain may await me, but I know if I stay here, I'll sleep right through my dream. Find a trail, reluctant pilgrim. My fear is all I've got to lose. Life is nothing, nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is mine to choose. Let us sail, reluctant pilgrims. Our fear is all we've got to lose. Life is nothing, nothing but a dreamscape, and the dream is ours to choose. To choose. Let us sail.
Thank you, Bill. That was great. Love that song. And it actually reminds me of a story about the whole thing about it's a dream that we get to choose. So there was a woman, and she dreamt that she was being chased by a monster. And she was so scared. She ran and ran. She ran as fast as she could. And then all of a sudden, she found herself stuck, like in a dead end, and she couldn't go any further. And the monster was getting ready to attack her, and she was so petrified, and she screamed out like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" And the monster answered, "It's your dream." So it's our dreams. Our fears are our fears. And most of the time, they're really not well-founded. They're just our fears. And some people are very fearful, more so than others. I have to tell you, I have a friend who is afraid of everything, literally everything. Doesn't matter what is going on, she always has a fear. And not only does she worry about things in her own life, she worries about things in everybody else's life. And which actually reminds me of my son. He's like that too. And, and I wonder why some people seem like they're born with it. because it's such a part of them. And other times we have these fears based on stuff in our life, but we are so fearful, and that fear keeps us from pursuing so many good things in our life. And we have to ask ourselves, why are we so afraid? And what can we do so that we're not so fearful? And we have to realize that often what we're afraid of has no power over us at all. In The Quest, there's a really great story, and it's about this mouse. And the mouse is so afraid of the cat. You know, most mice are. And so the mouse just prays and prays and prays to become a cat. And so one day, it becomes a cat. And then all of a sudden, it becomes so afraid of the dog, right? So it starts praying and praying to become a dog. And guess what? It becomes a dog. Now the dog becomes afraid of the lion. So it starts praying and praying and praying to be a lion. And guess what? It becomes a lion. And then the lion becomes afraid of the hunter. So the lion starts praying to be the hunter. And it becomes the hunter. Now the hunter is afraid of his wife. So the hunter starts praying to be the wife. And guess what? He becomes the wife. Now guess what the wife is afraid of? The mouse. So we think that somehow if we're something else or something else happens that we won't be afraid, but fear is not about the thing that we think we're afraid of. Fear is really about lack of connection with God. Because when we feel connected with God, we don't have those fears. And there are some healthy fears, you know. I mean, you wouldn't want to put your hand on a hot stove. I mean, you may have done that. You learn really quickly that's not the right thing to do. But a lot of our fears are unfounded. And we have these fears because we don't feel connected with God. Or we think that somehow if we were different, we wouldn't have this fear. But fear is, we all have fears of everything. A lot of people have fear of financial insecurity. They worry about money all the time. It doesn't even matter if they have money or not, they worry about it. You know, I have a friend who has millions of dollars. He got it inherited, and he worries all the time. He watches that computer and the stocks, and I'm thinking, you have so much money. It would take a real disaster for you to lose all this money. But he still is worried, and he still looks at that computer. And, right, you say to yourself, if I had $6 million, I wouldn't be worried. But he is, because it's not about the money in the bank. In fact, if financial stuff is your fear, I suggest even if you don't take the class, Spiritual Economics, you buy the book and you read this book. I am telling you, this book will change the way you look at the fears that you have regarding money and your financial situation. It won't change the financial situation. It just changes the way you look at it. Because fear is really the way we look at something. And fear means that it's just something we have to deal with. We have to look at our fears and face them. And a perfect example of that is the story of David and Goliath. You know, we all have Goliaths in our life. It could be finances, it could be getting old, it could be illness, it could be a lot of things. We all have that thing that seems so big and so impossible. And if you know the story of David and Goliath, the Israelites were fighting the Philistines. And the Philistines had this giant called Goliath. And he had all this armor and everything. And everyone was afraid of him. And so the Philistines went to the Israelites and they said, rather than all of us fighting and all of us dying, why don't you pick one warrior, and we'll pick one warrior, and they will fight, and whoever wins becomes the winner. Well, of course, the Philistines chose Goliath. Well, the Israelites could get no one to volunteer because this was this giant. And then there's this David. David wasn't even in the fight. He was at home with his father, and his father says, your brothers are in the fight. Go bring them some food. So he brings food to the battlefront, and he says, what's going on? Because there's all this commotion in the Israelites' camp. And they said, oh, this is what's happening. And no one will go fight Goliath. And David goes, I'll fight him. And they were like, you're going to fight him? He's this little boy. He's like young. He doesn't have any experience at all. He says, yes, I'm going to fight him. Because he had this faith in God. And he believed that God would be with him. So they tried to put the armor on David, some armor, but it didn't work because it weighed him down. So he decided, I don't need the armor. All I need is God and a slingshot and some rocks. And they're looking at him like, this kid is crazy. But it's just this little kid, so we're not going to worry about him. So he goes and he gets his slingshot and his rock, and he goes against Goliath, and there's this big giant, and there's this little kid, and he takes his slingshot, and he slings it, and it hits Goliath in the head and knocks him out. And they eventually, while he's down, they kill him. So the Israelites win. David becomes king eventually. But what was it that David had that no one else had? He had trust and faith in God. And he knew that with God, he could face any giant, anything he was fearful of. The bigger the fear, the more we can face it when we know that we don't have to face it alone. That God is with us, whatever the fear is. My biggest fear years ago used to be speaking in front of people. I was petrified. Oh my God, I just didn't even, I remember the first time I went to a 12-step meeting and they passed a mic around, and I was like, do you want me to say my name? I mean, I was sitting in the back of a couch, slouched down, just so petrified of even having to say my name in front of a group of people. And so what happened? I faced that fear. What happens is we face the fears, and we often find that what we were afraid of becomes something wonderful. So I'm afraid of heights. It's another fear of mine. Always have. Not anymore, but I always was, because I'm so short. And, when you look at everything from 5 feet or less, which I have been all my life, everything looks really tall. And any height looks pretty high. And so for my 70th birthday, my girlfriend and I decided that we were going to do a zip line. Because I thought the only way I'm going to face this fear is to conquer it, right? Is to do it. And so we were in Savannah, so we went to Hilton Head to do the zip line. And when I got up to these platforms, the zip line was bad enough, but the platforms, like staring out, looking at all this from this really high height, was so petrified. But there was something really exciting about it. And then they had, the instructor had put a little cupcake on my helmet and written "Happy Birthday," and they made a big deal about it. And so we get toward the end, and the instructor says to me, because it's your birthday, I'm going to give you a real treat. He says, we're going to go down this last zip, which was the biggest zip line, from the highest place, and we're going to do it tandem. So I'm thinking, oh, that's good. We're going to do it tandem. He'll be with me. He says, because it's really fast when you go tandem. And I'm thinking, you mean faster than when he says, yeah, it's really fast. So we hook up and we go down. And I mean, it was fast. And we were really high. And it was so exhilarating. I couldn't believe it. It was so great that by the last time when you get to the end, there's this one little zip line and you go and you race somebody else. I was like, yeah, let me race. Whoever can I race? And I found out that I was no longer afraid of heights, because we have to face our fears. We have to trust God and face our fears. The fears don't go away by constantly avoiding them. I'm not telling you to put your hand on a stove. I'm not telling you to walk up to a rattlesnake and go, hi, let me pet you. I'm not telling you to go up to a bear and say, hi, it's nice to meet you. But I'm saying be sure that these fears aren't just the fears of our mind, because once you have a fear and you let your fears rule you, you get more fears. Fears attract more fears. Because what do we believe in unity? That like thoughts are attracted. What we think in our mind, we attract. So the more we fear, guess what we attract? More fears. There's the movie about Elizabeth, and in it, it has to do with the Catholics, the people, her instructors, her, whatever those people are called, say to her, you have to do something about the Catholics. You have to do something about the Catholics. The Catholics are going to be your ruin. And she says, how many Catholics do you think there are in this country? And they said, oh, about half. She says, what do you think I should do with all these Catholics? Kill them? Arrest them? She says, the more that we are afraid, the more we are going to be afraid. So we have to find a way to deal with those fears. And God is one of them. And being in the moment is one of them. Because guess what, folks? Most of our fears have nothing at all to do with this moment. Most of our fears have something to do with the future. So I had a sponsor years ago, and she always used to say to me, I'd tell her something I was afraid of, like, oh, I'm going to run out of money, or oh, this is going to happen, or I'm going to lose my job. Or, and she would say to me, well, how is your now? And I would go, well, I don't want to talk about my now. She said, well, how is your now? I said, my now is fine, but let's talk about that next year I could lose this job. Or next week, this could happen. And she would say to me, how is your now? And she would make me go back to that moment. Because in that moment, in the now, what do we experience in the now? We experience our breath, and we experience God. Because God and our breath can only be experienced in this moment. We can't work with the God we had a year ago. And we can't work with some God we hope to have belief in a year from now. We certainly can't live on the breath we had a moment before. And we certainly can't depend on the breath we're going to have. It's only this moment. And so when we stay in the moment, something happens to those fears. Because in that moment, we have God. And in that moment, we're invincible. And in that moment, we know that right now, where I'm standing, everything is okay. Right now, in this moment, I'm okay. Everything is okay. And that's all I can depend on. I could go out today and get hit by a car or a bus or whatever. There's no guarantees in life, but I know in this moment, I'm here. My God is here with me. And everything is okay right here. And you are all here. And you're all out there. And everything right now is okay. And when we remember that, fear becomes something we really don't have to have such a big deal in our life. All of a sudden, that stuff just becomes that monster that we create in our dreams. There's a book by an author called The Dragon Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And it's all about living without those fears. The dragon doesn't have to live here anymore with you. The monster doesn't have to be here. You decide. It's your dream, and you get to create your dream, and you get to create your life. And when you take ownership of that, anything can happen. It doesn't mean bad things aren't going to happen. It just means that right now you're okay. Right now you're okay, and you know that God is with you no matter what happens. Whatever happens in our life, God is with us, and God is good, and therefore we are good. So close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. This time when you take a breath, feel yourself breathing in God. And then breathing God out. Because God is all around us, but God is also within us. And so right now in this moment, whatever is going on, we are not alone. We live and move and breathe and have our being in spirit. And so wherever the monsters are in your life, you can change them. Because you know that there is nothing that we are given that we cannot handle with God. It may be something we are fearful that we can't handle. But God's will never takes us where God's grace does not keep us. And when we know that, right now, in this moment, our fears vanish. Our faith is renewed. And our hearts open in trust that all is as it is supposed to be. And so it is. Amen.
This is a little Jason Mraz song about living in the moment. If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just want to be free. I will not waste my days thinking up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. And when I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can't walk through life facing backwards. I have tried once or twice to just make sure, and I was denied the future I've been searching for. So I spun around and hurt no more by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for everyone. By living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment.
Thank you so much. That was really great. And thank you, Reverend Arlene. That was a wonderful talk today. Thank you. Unity believes in 5 basic principles, and they are: God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. 2, I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. 3, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And 5, I do and give my best by living the truth that I know I make a difference. And Unity also believes in the principle of giving and receiving. And we always give and receive in love and with an open heart. But we want to thank you for donating to our spiritual community. Our church is supported by donations, and all donations are tax deductible. So we have several ways here at Unity of Orange County that you may donate. 1, you can visit our website and go to the donation button, and you can put your donation in through that way. Text a donation to 77977 and type Unity of OC Give in the message. Mail a check to Unity of Orange County at 23181 Verdugo Drive, Suite 103B, Laguna Hills, 92653. Or if you're here today, as you exit, you may leave your gift in the box at the exit of the sanctuary right over here, because most of you are exiting this way now instead of this way, so the box has been moved. Your committed contribution allows Unity of Orange County to more efficiently manage the daily operations, supporting our Sunday service, ministries, administration, and operations. So if you would please, let's put your hands together to affirm our giving prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Before we close, I'd like to welcome any new people that we have here today. I do see a couple new faces. I know Bill has some family here, and that's very nice to see. So welcome. So let's have our peace sign to close and wish you a wonderful, safe week. Prayer for protection, of course. What was I thinking? All right. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is and all is well. Yay, God. All right.
You can rise. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. God bless you. Thank you.